Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ray Cray Farms and Cray Travels. When we're not farming or working, we're out and about chasing adventures, taking in views, and making every moment count. Today, we are embarking on a tour with paddy wagons, and we are heading to Glendalough and to the Wicklow Mountains, but we start off in the vibrant city of Dublin. Our tour begins with a fascinating history of Dublin's central business district. As we drive through the bustling streets, we learn about the new American embassy, a significant milestone in the US-Irish relations. The embassy is being relocated to this site, which is the former Ballsbridge Hotel. As we leave Dublin behind, the scenery quickly changes from urban to rural. The lush green fields and the rolling hills set the stage for our adventure. As we continue on our journey, we pass through the picturesque sheep farms. This is a common sight in the Irish countryside. These farms are an integral part to Ireland's agricultural heritage.
And as well, which is going to bring the temperatures up a little bit, but we're expecting a lot of wind and rain over the weekend, unfortunately. So all of this snow will be probably washed away. Not that there's too much of it. But normally I would say to you, we have a very green country, but it's looking a little bit white up here. But we have a very green country. And the reason we have such a green country is because of the rain. And did you know, on average in this country, it rains twice a week? And that's all. Only twice a week normally. First time for 3 days and the second time for 4 days. But it's still only twice a week. And for that reason, guys, we have a huge agricultural industry on this island. Beef farming, dairy farming, sheep farming, pig farming, and of course the cultivation of crops. The crops the farmers grow nowadays, vegetable crops, peas, carrots, onions, potatoes, cabbage. This island is exported 90% across the Middle East, right across Europe, and also we export to China. So beef, the beef industry, huge industry, exports in beef, 90% of the beef we produce is exported. Dairy farming, again, huge industry. Irish dairy produce, you've probably been at home in the supermarkets of your hometowns and cities, guys, and at home in your own countries, you've probably come across Irish dairy produce, Irish cheese, and Irish butter. Would I be right? Irish butter. Kerrygold, have you seen that at home? Kerrygold butter you can buy in almost every country in the world, believe it or not.
Our first stop was Glendalough, which is a valley that's known for its breathtaking beauty as well as its historical significance. Glendalough means Valley of the Two Lakes, and it's also the home to the ruins and some serene lakes. It was freezing cold when we got there, and I didn't really see any shops, but there was a food truck that was serving hot coffee and breakfast, so that was nice. It is said that these monastic ruins date back to the 6th century, and they were founded by Saint Kevin. The round tower standing tall apparently served as a beacon of hope and a refuge for the monks during the Viking invasions. This was quite cool for me to see because I do love all things Vikings related. I love all the movies, I love all the series, I love all the shows. According to history, Saint Kevin brought back soil from Rome and sprinkled it in the church and the cemeteries of Glendalough, making it one of the 4 chief places of pilgrimage in Ireland. There is nothing quite like the flowing river. It's so calming and soothing. We had about 3 hours to spend at Glendalough, so there was quite a bit of walking to be done. It was absolutely beautiful, just a little bit tiring because the terrain is not flat, but the views were absolutely amazing. There are 2 lakes at Glendalough. The upper lake is really a sight to behold, and for this lake you are really surrounded by the lush forests, the towering mountains, and it's a perfect spot to reflect and really appreciate nature's beauty. The lower lake was equally captivating, and it offers a serene atmosphere. Walking along its shores, you can truly connect with the natural world, and the views from here are just to die for. Absolutely beautiful. There is a strong flora and fauna community within the Wicklow Mountains and Glendalough as well. Some of Wicklow's best surviving examples of native broad-leaved woodland are found in Glendalough. And despite their appearances, most of these trees are quite young. I know some of them look very big, but most of them are quite young. Apparently in the 18th century, the woodland began to be coppiced and by the mid 18th century, somewhere there, much of the woodland had been destroyed. Most of these trees are actually only about 150 to 200 years old. These are the views from the first lake. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely beautiful. After a morning of exploring, we headed back to Dublin, and on our way, we encountered a herd of sheep that was just strolling about on the side of the road. There we go. As we headed back into Dublin Central, our guide continued to educate us on Dublin's rich history.
Gentry would have lived in days gone by. So that's the Georgian Mile down there to the right. These old Georgian houses, guys, the Georgians loved to show off their wealth. The more steps they had going up to the front of their houses, their hall doors, meant the more money that they had. The fancier the light over the window, the window over the hall door, rather, they were called fanlight windows. The fancier the window over the hall door, again, meant the more money that you had. If you had railings going around the first story windows of your house, again, the more money you had, and likewise in the second and third stories also, although I've never seen any of them. I don't recall seeing any of them with railings around the third story windows. Now, as you look up as well, you will notice that the windows in these houses get smaller. That was for a couple of reasons. Firstly, to give the illusion of grandeur in those days. As I say, the Georgians loved to show off their wealth. The second reason was because of a tax that was in operation. The more windows you had, the bigger windows you had, the more tax you paid. There was a window tax in operation back then. So they didn't want to be paying themselves too much, or paying too much money in tax. So that's the other reason why the windows actually got smaller as you went upwards. The top floor was usually where the servants slept. It was the servants' quarters, and it's where the children used to sleep. It was also where the children were educated. Likewise in the kitchens, there wasn't too much light going into the basements of these houses. And as I say, it's where the elite used to live, the gentry of the day. And as you can see also, these houses did not have any front gardens.
So apparently back in the day, when these people that lived in these houses did not have any gardens, they used what are called squares. So one of the squares that I visited was the St. Stephen's Green Square, which really was used by the elite, and it was almost like their private garden. So it's a square, but it also has a lock and a key, and its access is limited just for residents.
Inside we have St. Anne Street, lots of little nice bars and restaurants and boutiques down there. On the right here we have Molesworth Street. At the very end of Molesworth Street is Leinster House, which is our government buildings today, straight down there to the right. Here on the left hand side we have Marco Pierre White, that restaurant is mentioned, and also here on the left hand side we have Duke Street, again Duke Street. We'll find some very nice bars and restaurants and little boutiques. The Duke is one of the bars, the Bailey is another one, Davy Burns is up there as well, very, very famous Dublin pub. Straight ahead of us we have the side entrance into Trinity College Dublin. Now, if you go into Trinity College Dublin, guys, you will see you will be able to see the Book of Kells, an ancient manuscript written by ancient monks back in the 300s and 400s. It was written in Scotland. It was brought to this country for safekeeping, and we just never gave it back. We've held on to it ever since. They only turn one page of the book every 3 months. It was one page every day at one time, but it's gone very, very frail.
I absolutely loved the paddy wagons tours. I did 3 of these tours and they were absolutely insightful. I learned a lot. The tour guides are very knowledgeable. It was amazing. It was amazing. So shout out to paddy wagons. If you ever find yourself an island, please reach out to them. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. See you on the next one.